Hey, it's Can You Exploration, your topic in a podcast. And we're going to explore something today, tonight, whatever you're watching. That is very, very important. Have you ever gone to a function, especially you socialites, right? Where someone somewhere just popped the question? I do. Well, no, it's not the question as in a proposal, but a very important question, a question that has been asked by many people at functions, and it sort of buffered most of us, especially how to answer. How do we answer such a question? Well, buffers me. Well, I do, you know. But look, let's look at it, right? Why do people want to know what do you do? Hey, have you experienced that before? You had gone to a function somewhere and someone asked, what do you do? I mean, you were like, huh? But you may answer. Perhaps you do nothing, but the question was asked, what do you do? We'll talk more about why they really ask that because, trust me, it's more than you think. The what do you do concept, it's very prevalent, especially in a function where someone would have introduced you to someone else. And the very question it asks, what do you do? What do you say? you know, because it's important for you to really answer that question. But the question is asked not because they want to know what do you do, but there are many information that can actually come from your answer. And this is what they want to get from you. So the what do you do question has a lot of answers in it when you answer, right? So you need to understand that what do you do question is a means to an end. Hmm. It's not just what do you do. When you answer, they can gather so much about you. You never think of that. Well, I do. I do. You know, it's they want to know your income. So come on, guys. The what do you do question basically reveal much more than what do you do. It can reveal your income. Oh, they'll guess. Oh, I know what he does, what she does speaks to she getting X amount. You never thought of that, right? Yeah. So what do you do is a means to an end because they want to know your income, not just your income. They want to know your economic status for that matter. Yeah. Just let me into your life. That's what they're saying. Tell me about your economic status. Tell me how you look on the family side, on the economic side. Yeah. So the what do you do means more than what do you do. So you have to understand that. And it also means, tell me, do you worth my time? So if you are someone in terms of occupation that they can benefit from when they want, the what do you do question, really asking that as well. Can I use you if I want to? If not, you don't worth my time. So the what do you do question can basically move people away from you, your answer that is, right? Or your answer can basically allow people to stay with you and have a conversation, build a conversation because they can quote unquote use you. So the what do you do question is more than what do you do. So you must understand that. It also really asks the question, how educated are you? So what do you do means how educated are you? Remember, guys, you are what you were trained to do, even if you are not doing it. If you're a trained teacher, you're a teacher, even if you are not teaching. If you're a trained doctor and you really haven't started a private practice yet or working in the public sector, you're a doctor, right? So you are what you were trained to do, even if you are not doing it. Come on, teachers out there. You are trained as a teacher and you're not yet placed in a school. Trust me, you're a teacher. So the what do you do question, or do you answer that if you're not doing what you were trained to do? Answer, I am what I was trained to do, and say what you're trained to do. So you have to understand the what do you do question. It's very critical for you to understand that question. That is a means to an end. It really asking for more than the person asks what do you do. It asks for your income, it asks for your economic status, it asks for your education without really asking. So the what do you do really speaks a lot. It gave a lot of information that people would want to know. But you are what you were trained to do, even if you are not doing it. Always remember that. Do you have to do it to be it? No. Do you have to do it to be it? No. So always remember that. To the curious, to the askers, that is, it's important for you to not judge the book by its cover. Do not judge the book by its cover. Always remember that the cover can lie. Never mind the cover, really. Never judge a book by its cover. We hear that a lot, all over, many times. You may look at an individual and not knowing that the individual is more than you are seeing, but you judge the individual based on that. I recall I was a professor at an institution, and the invigilator was in the exam. It's a university, and I went into the room, and the the invigilator basically said, "Hey, what are you doing in here? Get out of here!" And I was dressed down and looked unlike a professor. I wasn't dressed like a professor, so to speak, or whatever a professor dressed like. But I was asked to leave. The student said, "No, it's my lecturer. He's the person who allows us to be in here doing this exam right now." And I was allowed to stay, right? So never judge a book by its cover. So the what do you do question, the ask us that is. Don't believe that the person, despite what the person say he or she actually does, do not worth your time. And again, to the askers, the ugliest cars are the most expensive. Yeah, what that means, read between the line. So when you ask, what do you do? If you get an answer that doesn't really rest well with you, do not, you know, just basically push the person aside, because you never know. The ugliest cars are the most expensive. The beggar's deception. What is that? Is the beggar always needy? Not necessarily so. There are many beggars on the street that really do not need to beg, right? They're just there, but basically they have enough, but I wouldn't say greedy, but there is a thing with beggars, and you have to understand they could. I recall it's downtown Kingston many years ago. I saw a lady who asked for a bus fare really, and I went into a pharmacy and saw that same lady who have just perhaps allowed to travel on the bus by giving her a bus fare and a little more. And I saw her counting money. Apparently, she went to several persons to get a bus fare. Right? Is the beggar always needed? The beggar's deception, I call that. So it's something to consider. Humility eyes it all, right? Humility eyes a lot, guys. When someone is humble, you may just not know and never judge a book by its cover. Remember that. So humility eyes it all. So to the askers, remember that humility eyes it all. So next time someone asks, What do you do? Well, what do you say? When someone asks, what do you do? There's a lot that you can say. But next time, just basically look the person in the eye, smile, and then ask, what do you really want to know? Because as we have said, what do you do question is a means to an end. They want to find out your income, they want to find out your education, and they want to find out your economic status for that matter. So it's something that you have to take into consideration. So what do you do? Tell me. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.